Hi guys, today is more of a story time. How did I know I was trans? Well, if some of you are struggling with knowing or not if you're trans, let me tell you my story. My story isn't exactly hard to tell that I was trans. Maybe some of you guys can relate, or maybe some of you guys are also going through your own journey. But basically, this all started when I was born. My first, or what I could remember from my very, very young age, I think I was 3 or 4. That's my very first memory. Was one I remember very, very clearly that I didn't want to wear a dress. I didn't want to wear a dress at all. I didn't like pink. I always liked blue. I always played with little toy cars. Um, and again, that doesn't prove that you're trans, but that is just preference. Even little girls cannot want to wear a dress, okay? Even boys can wear dresses if they want to. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be trans. But this was just my story in my case. My most clearest day memory was we were in the arcade, and it was the old arcade style. It was just when I was around 4. We were playing Tekken. Shout out to you guys if you know the game Tekken. And I would play the character King. He was a wrestler with a leopard mask, okay? And I remember I was like, oh, he's so cool. I want to have a body, like, I like that body. I want to have a body like that. And I would always remember imagining myself having a penis and having that body. I would visualize myself as King. Okay, I remember that so clearly. I remember I'm gonna have I have a penis and I have a big muscular body and chest, and by all means this is when I was 4, and then I played the game Dead or Alive. Shout out if you know Dead or Alive too. I was playing at the arcade, and I had a major crush on this character called, I think her name was Lei Fang. Yeah, I had the biggest crush on her ever. No, not Lei Fang. I had a crush on her later. I had a crush on the character called Helena. Yes, I remember. She was my first crush ever. Like my very first crush when I was 4, okay? But keep in mind I was a little tiny baby. I was in love with her. And I would visualize myself. I would visualize myself as the character King. And I would be a couple with her. And then as the more I kept growing up, I would stand to pee on the toilet, and which I would pee everywhere, of course, and then my sister would tell on me, and then my mom would be like, you shouldn't do that, you're a girl, you should sit to pee, and I would be like, I don't, but, and then a few years along the line, I would remember I'd be like, when is my penis gonna grow? And I would always pray. I remember I would always pray that one day I would magically have a penis. And the more I grew, it was funny, I didn't really realize or identify myself as any specific gender at the time. I always just thought I was growing up the way I was supposed to be. And like I said, and I still continuing, I never really liked having long, at the time where I was still up to the age of 8, I still have long hair, and I never liked it and never enjoyed wearing dresses or anything, and it was still the same thing. All the activities I did, I would do go-kart racing, I would want to play with the boys, I would want to play football, I want to do all that stuff, and I would always get really upset when they would treat me different, where they would be like, no, you can't play because you're a girl, or they'd be like, no, you can't join us, and even my cousins, they would play around roughly with each other, and then once it came to me, they would be very gentle and kind of exclude me in the things that they were doing, and it made me feel really upset. And I got to the age of, I think I was around 9, where I finally got my first haircut, and it was just short hair. It was I remember David Beckham had the faux hawk, and I was like, I want that. And I got it, and my mom, she thought it was a phase, and she let me do whatever I wanted to do with my hair, and I was just the happiest I had ever been, and from then on out, I just never kept my hair long again. It was always short. Then high school hit, and I went through puberty. I cried. I hated it. I hated when my breast grew. I hated getting my period, I cried. Like, I legit cried because I hated everything about it. I hated going bra shopping. It was the most uncomfortable thing. I remember I would always wear really big t-shirts to cover my whole body because I hated it. Okay, it was just, I didn't like the way my body was developing, and I didn't know what trans was at the time. And I remember I was having such a hard time identifying myself. Like, what am I? Am I a tomboy? Am I a lesbian? And then when I actually went to high school, like, and then I was still in the closet, like, only very few people knew. And I just told them, like, I think I'm a lesbian, I don't know. And every time I said that word though, like, I'm a lesbian, like, I would cringe because I knew in my heart I wasn't the gender that liked the same gender, you know. I knew in my heart, like, because for me, if I would say I was a lesbian, then I would admittedly be saying that I am a woman who likes another woman. But I didn't know. I didn't even know what transgender was. I didn't know it existed at the time. So I was just like, in my heart, I was like, it's not, I don't think it is what it is, but maybe I'm a butch lesbian, I don't know. But like I said, at the time, I still didn't like my body. I was still very dysphoric about my chest because I had a pretty, not a small, but not a large chest, like medium-sized chest. I was very dysphoric about it. And I was very dysphoric about having down there as well. And I was so like, and at that time I was trying to go to the gym and build muscles because I wanted to hide my body. And I kept struggling with my identity at the time until I remember so clearly, and I keep saying I remember things so clearly because these were like the highlight points in my life, was when I was 16, I was watching a documentary with my dad on Discovery Channel, and it was about trans men and trans women, and I saw that and I immediately, like, the biggest smile on my face. It was the biggest discovery. I was over the moon happy because I realized that's what I am. I'm a trans man. And the reason I was so happy was, one, because I finally knew that I could do it, meaning I finally knew that I can transition to a male, and two was that I finally found out who I was, you know. And once that happened, I remember I called and this is when I found out. I kept it a secret for a couple of months, and I did a lot. I went on YouTube and I went FDM transitions, and I was looking at all the videos, and it just brought the biggest smile and the most, like, relief to myself, the most relief to my life. And then a couple of months down the line, I called my dad and I was like, you can't stop me, I'm gonna do this, but I just want you to know I'm trans. I had the cutest answer from my dad ever. He's like, I know. And he's like, okay, I know you're gonna do it, but he said, just do it safely, and you know, wait till you're old enough to do it. And for me, I wasn't in a rush because I didn't know where to do it. I didn't know where to get the information, but I was gonna do it, and I knew it. I was gonna do it. And then because my dad had such a positive reaction, I decided to tell my mom, and things, you know, like I said in my previous videos, things didn't go too well, but, you know, flash to 11 years later, and here I am. I'm not going to tell you a story about how I transitioned because that's for another video. This is a video of how I found out I was transgendered. So if you guys can relate to this video, maybe if I can help you, you know, I'm more than happy to. And this is a little bit of a different video. So I hope you guys enjoyed my story time, and like this video, click subscribe if you're new, if you want more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.